Hi, my name is Esther. I am from VictorianLaneFarms.com. Today I'm sharing with you how to paint a tufted dining room chair. So stay tuned.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on.
First, I want to show you this tufted dining room chair that I got from Goodwill. I bought it for $5.99, and I'm just showing you the fabric up close. It's got some stains, and here is some fabric hanging down underneath that eventually I'm going to cut away. Here is what it looks like up close. And now on to day one of this makeover.
If you want step-by-step directions how to paint an antique sofa, an antique chair, or anything that has fabric, you can go to VictorianLaneFarms.com. I actually have tutorials how to do all of those. You can go down in the drop box down below, and I will have those links for you to look up those tutorials on my website. Alright, so these are the things that you will need for this project. I'm going to start off with this Sloan paint. This is Abyssine Blue. So I am a very messy painter. So I have some blue tarp to put down on, even though I'm outside on the cement. I am known to leave a track of paint around, and so I'm going to put this down to put the chair on. So you need a pair of scissors, paint can opener, a screwdriver to open up the paint can. You'll see me do that in just a second. A stir stick. I know I use knives, but I don't have a stir stick, so what do? So that's what I'm using. And you'll need a small paintbrush. So I am using this paintbrush, but you can use any paintbrush as long as it's small. And the other things you'll need is some cleaner. So what's inside of here is the all natural cleaner, and I will link that down below. And you need an icky old cloth that you don't care about getting dirty. You will need something to measure your paint, because you're going to dilute half water, half paint into this, and since it's a small chair, it doesn't take very much paint for this project, and some blue tape. So now let's get on to painting this antique chair.
This is the first step. You want to get some cleaner and wipe it down, all the dirt and grime off the fabric, and I even took some time and wiped down the wood as well. So I'm opening up the Sloan paint, and I'm taking the clips off, and I'm laying a cloth down because I am such a mess when it comes to paint. So I'm prying this open, and I'm excited to show you the color. Isn't that pretty? And so I'm taking my stir knife and I'm stirring it until there is no swirls inside. You want it completely smooth. I'm taking half a cup of water and half a cup of paint. I'm taking that paint and I'm putting it inside the cup, making sure to get it all in there. And I'm taking my stir knife and I'm stirring it really well. You want it well combined. And so now I am putting the tape on. I'm kind of overlapping the fabric, and there's nails there, and using my fingers to kind of push it into the crease to prevent some paint from getting on the wood. And I later going to show you a trick of how you can get the paint off the wood, so stay tuned for that. I'm continuing to add the tape to the edges of all the fabric. And now I am done. So this is the next step. We are going to spray all the fabric with water first. This will really help the paint to soak into the fabric. So you take your paintbrush and you swirl the paint around as you go along to make sure that the paint and water is well combined. And I am starting off by filling the buttons of the tuft area with paint. You don't want to be globbing it in there because it will dry that way. But you take your brush and you're pushing it down into the fabric. This particular chair has some creases and you just want to make sure to fill those in. And I'm showing you that you just don't need a lot of paint. You don't want to overload your brush. You want to just spread it around. This is actually just the first coat, so you don't have to be heavy-handed with the paint. I'm showing you the difference between using the water and not using the water. If you can see, I did not use water on that side, and it's a little globby, but I put water on this side and it went on smooth. So it really does make a difference using water when painting fabric. So there are some nail heads on the sides of the chair. I'm using this little brush to fill it in, but I later found out a trick and I will show you that in just a little bit. I am now painting the backrest of the chair. I'm repeating the same as putting the paint inside where the buttons are, but here there is actually some edging that I am painting as well. I am using the little brush to do the ribbon on the edge of the back of the chair and the backrest of the chair. I will show you that here, and it's actually going on really easy. I'm actually impressed. I'm taking that little brush, and here is the trick. I'm using it to paint, and then I take some paper towel and I brush off the paint to show the nail heads. I'm doing that again here. So I let the first coat dry and now I'm adding the second coat. So this time you don't have to spray the fabric with water. You just go ahead and apply the paint. I am making sure to fill in all the areas where you can see the pattern through, making sure to apply paint to the buttons inside and the edges here. I'm really getting my brush in there in the tufted areas. I am making sure to concentrate on the front here. It was really well worn and I want to make sure that it lasts a while. So now I'm on to the back side. As you can see, the second coat is actually covering up the pattern pretty good. I'm repeating using the little brush on the edges. And I'm doing the backrest as well. I'm working the paint into the grooves of the ribbon there. You want every part of the fabric covered with the paint as best as you can. Now I am done with the second coat. The fabric has fully dried, and I'm noticing that where there's little tucks here in the chair, that the fabric is still the original color. So I am taking some paint and I am filling those in. It just really helps to have a finished look so there is no fabric showing, especially when you're sitting down. You want it to be a complete job, so that helps. It is now the next day, and I'm pulling off all the tape, and I'm noticing that there are some edges where the white fabric from underneath is showing. So I'm taking a small brush and I am just filling in with the paint. Now remember, I'm going to show you this trick. So this is what you do. You just take a paper towel with some water and rub off the paint. Do you see how easy it comes off? All right, so this is day 2. You need to use some Sloan clear wax, and you will need preferably this Sloan wax brush. I just love this brush. It cost me a lot of money, so I'm going to keep using this until I can't anymore. But before you can even apply the wax, you will need 150 grit sandpaper. You want it to be fine and not rough because it will take too much paint off of the tufted chair, and so you need to have it really fine. I was about to sneeze. So anyway, here I am taking the sandpaper and rubbing down the seat and making sure to get down where the buttons are. My camera turned off, so I wasn't able to record when I was rubbing down this seat. You only want to rub it really lightly and then take your hand and feel it afterwards to see if the fabric feels soft. So now I am taking the clear wax and the wax brush, and I am brushing the backrest, and I'm making sure as I spread it across I am really applying it into the fabric. But I'm noticing that it is not working. So I'm taking actually a cloth instead, and I'm making sure to get a pretty good amount there. And I'm going to show you the difference. So for this, there's a lot of tucks and buttons. Using this cloth to apply the clear wax made it so much easier. As you can see, I'm using a large amount, and I'm spreading it across the backrest here, and then I'm taking a clean side of my cloth and really rubbing it in. You will start to see the fabric turn shiny where the wax is, and that helps you to know that you've got good coverage. You want to keep doing this for all the fabric of the chair. But with a little work, I think it is turning out amazing. I have painted a lot of fabric chairs over the last few years, and this one is a lot different with all the little buttons. So now I'm doing the same thing to the seat. I'm applying a large amount here of the clear wax and then just rubbing it in and making sure to apply it generously to the fabric. And I've had questions if this gets on your clothes. After it dries, it will not get on your clothes. what it does is it makes the fabric soft, and I love how the wax it's the finishing step to making this fabric beautiful and soft, and it will last for years and years. So now I am finishing this up by doing the back of the chair. I am continuing to rub that wax into the fabric. And there are some ribbons on the edging, and I'm not so focused on making sure to have wax on that as much. Making sure to get the edges. I don't want any of the paint showing. You want to make sure that it's fully covered. Now I am cutting the fabric from underneath where it was hanging and kind of looking tacky. So I am cutting that off, and then I'm noticing there is some fabric from the seat that was hanging down, and I cut that off, and now it looks better. So check this chair out. Isn't it beautiful? I am just loving this Aubusson blue color. It is so gorgeous.
So I am loving how this chair is turning out. It's such a pretty blue. I didn't know if I actually would like this blue because it is really bright color, and I like neutrals in my house. But anyway, check that out. Isn't that pretty? Wow.
So here is my chair in my entryway. This is where I imagined putting it when I bought it. I just love that it's just small, and that blue goes with my rug that's next to it. It is so sweet. Just showing you the perspective of where it is. This is the entrance to my house. I love adding this chair.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your week. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, how to paint a tufted antique chair, and I will see you next week. All right, bye for now.
Do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile? Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite